Yes, you did see that title right. I'm going to rank every single type of tree in Fortnite history. This is the most ridiculous video I have ever made, and I asked my community in a post what video you would like to see next, and the overwhelming majority, I just threw it out there as a joke, but the overwhelming majority did vote to see the ranking of every single tree. This is by far the most ridiculous video I've ever made in my life, but since we're doing it, we gotta lay out a couple guidelines. One, bushes do not count. Get those bushes out of here. We are only talking about trees here. Also, this video is every type of tree, right? I'm not literally going around the map and picking out from like 1,000 trees every one. That is absolutely ridiculous. If that's what you thought it would be, sorry to disappoint you. And different seasons / different colors will count for the same tree. So for example, the pink Lucky Landing tree in the middle of that POI, the regular oak tree, and the snowy oak tree, they're all the same thing. If you go on to enjoy this video, please leave it a like. I spent hours of my day on the weekend to rank every single type of tree in Fortnite. It's absolutely ridiculous, but hey, you guys asked for it, so I'm here to deliver. Please use code TYFRYZ in the Fortnite item shop if you would like to support the content that I make here on YouTube. And I can't believe I'm saying this, but let's get into it. We're going to rank every tree. At the number 14 spot is the burnt tree, and this is what the tree looks like after you burn it with fire. And let me just say something while I have all of your attention here. There is no way that I'm going to get every single type of tree, and these are only the trees as defined by the Fortnite wiki. Yes, they actually do define what counts as a tree and what is not. So if I missed your favorite tree, dude, I don't know what to say, sorry. And yeah, I mean, the burnt tree isn't even really a tree, it's just the aftermath of when a tree burns. It's not even its own unique tree. I don't even know why this even counts, but it does. And in my mind, this was easily the worst tree we've ever seen. At the number 13 spot is the corrupted tree. Now get this thing out of here. Is this ugly tree from chapter 2, I believe? Man, that thing's got no leaves. That thing's all dark brown and black and burnt up. Dude, get that thing out of here. This is an ugly looking tree. I bet you didn't even know that this thing existed or totally forgot it existed, because I did. Honestly, it was close between the worst and the second worst, so honestly, if you want to flip them around, that would work. At the number 12 spot is the invasion tree, and if you remember back to like Holly Hatchery, inside those like alien nanite cubes, those trees is what I'm talking about. And look, here's what I will give them, right? Invasion trees, they look cool. Honestly, they are probably like the second or third best looking tree. The problem is they give you like no mats because they have like no HP, and they are incredibly rare. I mean, they're only found inside those alien nanite cubes, and you can't just spawn these things in. They like default spawn and that's it. Again, look, like it's cool to look at, it's interesting, it's different, but other than that, I got nothing positive to say about it. Invasion tree is at the bottom of the list. And at the number 11 spot is the autumn birch tree, and if people are going to get angry at me about ranking trees, this might be one where you might be upset. So this is like that really skinny, small, white base tree with like the orange on top, and it's like a really nice looking tree, right? I mean, what else do I say? Like, how do I describe these trees? Like, I can't believe I'm sitting here in front of a microphone ranking every single Fortnite tree. My problem with this one is, dude, this thing gives you like no mats. I think you can get like 16 wood max from this. It also provides literally zero cover because it is so skinny. So similar to the alien invasion tree, the only reason why it's up here is because it looks cool. It actually looks very beautiful on the map, as do a lot of the chapter 4 foliage items do. So I mean, think about it. I can't put it any higher on this list. All it does is it just looks good, right? Like I said, provides no cover, gives you like no mats. I mean, dude, this thing is kind of ridiculous. I'm honestly kind of regretting even putting it this high on the list. It kind of sucks now that I think about it, but it looks cool, so whatever. At the number 10 spot is the redwood tree. These are those big, huge, long, tall trees, and no, not the ones that are actually breakable and can fall and do damage. These are just regular redwood trees. I really don't remember these. If I can remember anything about them, I think they were on the chapter 3 map. I mean, like, they're all right. I mean, they're not anything crazy. They're not terrible. They do give you decent amount of cover. They do give you decent mats, but they're just kind of boring. It reminds me of like the MK Alpha assault rifle. Like, yeah, it's good. Yeah, it's solid. It does everything well, but it's just a boring weapon. Or like the auto shotgun, right? Like, it does everything right. It does what it needs to do. It gets the job done, but it's just a boring kind of lackluster weapon to use. So just kind of think about that logic, but for the redwood tree. And at the number 9 spot on this list is the chapter 4 jungle tree. And I will say with confidence, this is actually the best tree we have seen up to this list. And look, I wasn't a fan of the Chapter 4 Season 3 jungle biome, and that's actually the main reason why this tree doesn't get any higher. But if you remember, these are like those huge, massive trees with the zip lines going up on top of them. They had like the pods up there. You could jump from tree to tree. Like, it was actually really fun. The main disadvantage to this tree is you can't break it down. You can't farm it for mats, so all it's there for is just cover and to go on top of. This is the first tree that like I can actually explain in detail and is not just there for like decoration. And if you had a final zone and you were on top of one of these trees, you were at a significant advantage. So yeah, the Chapter 4 jungle tree actually could have been higher on this list, but I don't know, there are some better trees ahead of it. And at the number 8 spot are the tropical trees. And if I remember correctly, I know this is kind of a shot in the dark, but I think that these are the trees found in the original Season 8 jungle biome, as opposed to the ones found at Paradise Palms. Those are the palm trees. Those are different than the tropical trees. Of course, I will have a photo up of all the trees so you know exactly which one I'm talking about. And these are very similar to the large oak tree, which we will see a little bit higher on this list. Yeah, good mats, good cover, everything you want out of a tree you get here, right? Except it looks kind of dull and boring, but I mean, it's a tree, dude. Like, like what do you want? I mean, I don't know what else to say, guys. It's hard to come up with words that I haven't already said in this video to describe trees. I mean, cut me some slack here. It's a solid tree, all right? That's all I'll say about it. It's a solid tree. And at the number 7 spot is the pine tree, and this is like one of the main trees of Fortnite. It has been in every single season, every single chapter. It is like the scar, but like of trees. If you remember, and you're kind of an OG if you can remember this, but on the Chapter 1 map by Retail Row, the Container Yard, and the RV Park, there was like a huge field of like 30 of these pine trees. Those are the trees that I'm talking about. And these are really good trees, and actually they have like the leaves that like hang off the side of it, so you actually can hide like under them, if you know what I'm saying. The only problem is they have very low HP, so if you get shot by like 3 or 4 assault rifle bullets, the tree's gone, and they don't give great mats, but they do provide cover, and they are literally everywhere. I mean, there are probably thousands of these trees on the map, so that's got to play a role in it, I feel like. Yeah, pine trees are good trees. They definitely deserve to be in the top 50% of this list. And at the number 6 spot, I was just talking about them a little earlier, that is the palm trees. And these trees are most recognizable at Paradise Palms, of course. And honestly, these trees are just up here because of how they look. Other than looking pretty and looking cool on the map, they provide almost no value. They do actually give you good value for the materials and for the HP for how many times that you actually hit it, but they are so skinny that they're basically obsolete in any type of fight. So if you're playing no build, just get away from these trees. They won't help you at all. But it fits the aesthetic of a POI like Paradise Palms absolutely perfectly. I mean, the place is literally called Paradise Palms, so you know there has to be palm trees there. I don't know, this is a little bit of a base pick because I do like palm trees in real life. They got those like coconuts that hang down from them, right? Like, I don't know, I'm a fan of palm trees, and I actually think in the game that coconuts actually could drop from them. I could be totally wrong, but I think that was the case. I don't know, they're dope trees, all right? At the number 5 spot, one of the only trees that basically encapsulates an entire POI, that is the large oak tree. And this is like another prime example of one of those OG Fortnite trees that has been in the game on every single map. Every person watching this video, if you've ever loaded into a Fortnite game, I am 99% sure that you have used one of these large oak trees to get materials. These are the absolutely massive trees that take over all of Wailing Woods. They are in all of Lonely Lodge, like those huge trees. They are absolute classics of the tree game in Fortnite. They're like kind of like the pump shotgun of trees. And they literally do everything right except looking good. I don't think they look very great. They're kind of boring. But the key is that the base of these trees are really big. So one, you get 50 to 60 materials for every single one of these trees, and you can easily hide at any angle around the tree because the base is so big. And if you've ever fought at a location like Wailing Woods, you know exactly what I'm talking about, and they give great mats. Like I said earlier, if you farm like 15 of these trees, you got max mats. These trees like single-handedly carried sky bases back in the early seasons of Chapter 1, and they are a really good tree. At the number 4 spot is personally my favorite tree of all time. I wanted to put it at 1, but I couldn't do it. It is the small oak tree. I'm telling you one thing, farming these small oak trees hits like absolute crack. These trees also drop apples from them. Like, come on, dude, these trees are perfect. If there is any tree in Fortnite that I could farm for the rest of my life, it would be the small oak tree. Like, it honestly gets to the point where, like, if I see a pine tree or a small oak tree, I will go for the small oak tree every single time. But I will acknowledge that there are objectively better trees ahead of it, and I couldn't put it any higher on this list, but this is absolutely my favorite tree of all time. Comment down below if the small oak tree is your favorite tree, because we can reunite down there. I don't know, honestly, I can't even believe that I'm still recording this video. This is unreal. At the number 3 spot, and one that you may have put at the number 1 spot, that is the reality tree. And this one needs some explaining. And I'm not talking about those trees from that season that would sprout from the saplings. Those aren't really trees, they're more like plants, although I guess trees are plants. I don't know, I'm not like a biology guy. I am talking about the absolutely massive, beautiful tree, the whole ecosystem there that had its own POI, its own location in Vibin. I mean, this thing is beautiful to look at. It is absolutely no question the best looking tree in Fortnite history, and I have to explain here because there is only one of these, right? It's not like the other ones where you can farm them for materials and there's hundreds across the map. No, this is the only one, but it spawns with free shield, it spawns with chests everywhere. I mean, it literally had a whole POI just based around this tree, and also it played a major part in the storyline. I mean, I can't really say that about many other trees on this list, but there are 2 types of trees ahead of it, and at the number 2 spot are moisty trees, and these were one of the first trees that I thought about when making this video, and I knew that they would be high on this list. These trees are actually really rare. I don't know that we've ever seen them in a location other than Moisty Mire, and as you guys know, Moisty Mire has barely come back, if ever. I guess if you consider Moisty Palms, then yeah, but these trees were known. I mean, the number one thing they were known for is giving you incredible materials for farming them. These trees would give you over 100 wood every time you broke one down. They were massive trees, and most of the time, especially in Moisty Mire, they had like 2 or 3 chest spawns around them, and I think a lot of people watching this video would have expected this to be at the number 1 spot. Again, they give you great cover, they're huge trees, they give you great materials. I mean, they spawn with chests around them 99% of the time, so why are they not at the number 1 spot, you may be asking? Well, at the number 1 spot are the timber pine trees, introduced in, I believe, chapter 3, and these are trees that can do damage to players. If you don't know what I'm talking about, when you break these trees, they actually fall instead of just like evaporating into the air. And to me, it was actually a no-brainer that these were going to be the number 1 spot. I mean, you can literally do damage to players. These trees actually can have a significant impact in a gunfight. I mean, there have been countless times where someone is in a 1x1 right next to these trees, and I'm 100 meters away, I just shoot down the tree, and these things are like heat-seeking missiles. I'm telling you, these things fall perfectly, always right on top of players. I don't know what it is, and they do some pretty big damage. I think it's like 100 plus, I'll be honest with you. And it's just crazy that these trees have like actual physics, like they actually roll around. You can chuck it into the water and it can be like a little log flume, and these things are massive, and they are like really buggy when it comes to doing the damage. So even if they roll like a tiny bit to the left or right, if they hit somebody, it will do damage to them. And I don't know, like I said, when I was making this video, there was no doubt in my mind that the timber pine trees, the only trees that can actually do damage to players, would be number 1 on this list. If you are watching this video and you just watched 10 plus minutes of footage of me ranking Fortnite trees, you are actually a godsend on this earth. I love you so much. Thank you for actually watching this. And you may have to go to a psych ward because you just spent like 10 minutes of your day watching me rank trees. But with all that being said, if you guys did enjoy this like goofy kind of troll video, be sure to leave me a like, subscribe down below if you want to see more content like this, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.